Hey guys, what's up? Red Actions here and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I've got something for you which I never thought I would ever say on this channel. Because today I have a brand new karting video for you guys. So today we are at Oldenzaal, which is a nice small 300-meter track in the north of the Netherlands. And we're competing in the Outdoor Sprint Cup, which is a championship with rental karts. So that means that the karts are provided by the track and that they are not privately owned. So they're not my Rotex kart, which you have seen previous content of. And for those of you with a very keen eye or just a big knowledge of Formula 1 in general, if you look closely to the track, you'll recognize this track from a certain music video. Yes guys, this is the track where the Super Max song was recorded, or at least the music video was recorded. It's pretty funny in my opinion that this track has got millions of views and not a lot of people know it. But today we're going to see what it looks like from a driver's point of view. So this day consists of a warm-up and 3 races. In the warm-up it's basically just free practice, it's just a 6-minute free practice session, so you really didn't have that much time to get used to the karts. Well, of course most people went testing here like a couple of weeks before the race, but I didn't, because I just didn't have the time to do so. So I'm just basically getting in this race whilst not competing for more than a year. Nice. And for the 3 races, your starting position is not determined by qualifying but by lottery. And it is done in such a way that you will have 1 start at the front of the pack, 1 at the back and 1 in the middle. But before we dive into this video, I would like to congratulate Michael H. Christoph, which has won the giveaway, in which he has won Assetto Corsa Ultimate Edition, Formula Hybrid 2021 and a copy of Content Manager full version. So congratulations man, I'll contact you on how you can claim your prizes. But anyway, that's it for the intro. Let's dive into a hot lap of this amazing circuit. Let's go. So guys, welcome on board with the rental kart. We come around the penultimate corner, or no, the final corner, sorry, to start off our lap. It's a very short sprint towards the first turn, which is a flat out to the right, then followed again by another flat out corner to the right. Then we have to brake a little bit, let the kart roll in this very fast left-hander, and we get to our first overtaking spot, the first hairpin of this circuit. When it's very busy you can of course always sneak it up the inside there, but now it's important to focus on a good exit and take a wide line in. Then into a right-hander which is almost flat. Then into a very fast double left-hander which is very bumpy here on the curbs, as you can see. It always moves the camera down a little bit. Then we come into my favorite corner of the track, a hairpin with a double apex, and we actually have to get the second one, which is also a very nice overtaking spot. Then coming around the final corner again into a flat-out right-hander, and that's a very quick lap of Oldenzaal for you right there. So as you can see, a very short and technical circuit. Racing here is quite difficult, overtaking here is not that easy. But yeah, let's see what we can do in the race. Okay guys, so here we are on the grid for our first sprint race. It's a very short race of only 10 minutes and Lottery has decided that we were going to start in P4. I was actually quite nervous at this point because in the practice I only had the 13th fastest time, being 8 tenths away from the fastest time, so it definitely was not looking too good here. As you can see there, the 4 and 5 red lights coming on now. We have a standing start, let's focus, let's see how good of a getaway we can get. And it's away we go. As you can see me hopping there in order to get a better getaway. The 10 minutes allows us to do 14 laps, but we keep our position right now at the start. At the start of a kart race it's very important to keep your position. There's a saying that goes, if you are not the one overtaking, you'll be the one that's going to be overtaken. So you have 2 choices, defend for the entire lap or attack for the entire lap. There's no in between, because if you won't do either of those things, it's you who will get overtaken. As you can see there, I tried to get past the number 12 kart there, but as you could also see, the reason I was so slow in the first practice and in this race, because I had the same kart for those 2 races, is that the engine of this kart was absolutely garbage. You can see here in the slipstream they're already pulling away. Slipstream in these karts does make a little bit of an effect. You should be able to keep up with them very easily, but here you can see that I'm just struggling massively. In the corners I'm actually quicker than the driver ahead of me, which actually is a lady. I think I called her a guy. But there you can see we get overtaken by Guus, which is my friend, which I go to the track with. Let's call him Gus from now on, because that's more easy for you guys to understand. As you can see there, I'm signaling to him like, go ahead man. We can fight to the front together, because that's actually quite important in karting. Just getting through the field as easily as possible. And there you can see he overtakes the number 12. I tried to profit from it as well, but her bad exit actually limits me as well, because I couldn't pull alongside her. and there you can see they just pull away on the straight. It's absolutely insane. I really felt like McLaren and Honda in 2015 over there. So we're in P5 right now. I am actually able to keep up with the group ahead of me quite nicely because they were battling all the time. And then it doesn't matter if you have a slow engine. And the number 12 actually goes for a move on the number 5, and we can actually profit from that, so that's P4 for us. I hope we can keep him behind for now because everyone just had better straight line speed than me. And pretty much every straight I had to defend, cover the inside, which is actually quite tricky because it's actually not impossible to overtake around the outside with these things. So it basically is just Formula 1 mini edition. As you can see here, skipping ahead to lap 10 already. We're actually keeping up quite nicely with the group ahead, and I'm actually right up the rear bumper of the number 12 here, which is pushing like anything. But in the corners, on the exit, I am just way quicker. It's when we get to the second part of the straight that they actually start pulling away. And after this, I actually discovered that this kart was about a half a second too slow. And I was thinking about doing a move here up into this corner, which is the best overtaking spot of the whole track, but I was just a little bit too far away. As you can see, I'm just dancing to the left and to the right to try and force her into an error because she is looking behind her quite a lot. Of course, these cars don't have mirrors, so the only way to know what's going on behind you is actually to just turn around and look what's going on behind you. So now, coming to the end of lap 11, going into lap 12 now, we're still stuck behind number 12. And yeah, I just didn't have the straight line speed to pull up a move or to pull off a move on the straight, so I have to do it in the braking zone. Here you can see I try to have a little sneaky look up the inside and to defend at the same time. But yeah, it just didn't work, sadly. What I did, however, know is that she was very weak on this double left-hander. I actually ran into her back a couple of times there. As you can see, I did it again, but now I'm just close enough to go for an inside, to go for a move up the inside, and I actually do it. I absolutely lunge it up the inside. We make a little bit of contact, but side-to-side contact is actually okay in karting, so we're now up into the podium position, which is very nice. I was very happy about that, considering that we were running with like, I don't know, 2 or 3 less horsepower than the rest of them. But here, as you can see, coming onto the final lap, we get overtaken on the straight, defending, and we actually lose another position there, but we were able to fight him off. Yeah, the GP2 engine was just really shining through here. And yeah, you can only do so much when you're defending for the whole race. Actually, if you looked at the off-board cameras, which I sadly do not have for this round, the entire field was bunched up behind me. I was basically holding up the entire field. Because the field's actually quite close, and then when you lose half a second due to a bad engine, well, that puts you in a really bad position, and the entire field was just basically up my ass to try to overtake me. Well, this is the final lap. Gus has won the race. He pulled away an absolute treat there. He actually came to me after the race telling me like, whoa, your car was really bad, man. I had really no trouble overtaking you whatsoever. And yeah, as you can see here, fist bump another driver. The amount of sportivity is really good in this race, and the guy I gave a fist bump just then in the red overalls was actually one of the organizers of the race. He competes in it himself as well. And yeah, P4 with an engine that didn't really suit me, I think that's okay. That's still solid points because the end result is calculated with a given amount of points. There, a nice fist bump to Gus, and well, congratulating him on the win, of course. And this is race 2, so let's see what we can do here. So for race 2, Lottery decided that I would start from P19. You couldn't even see the 5 red lights on from the camera there because they're just so far away. And when you're starting last in karting, especially in the Road Tech series, which I used to compete in, it's very important to not completely send it immediately from the start, because there of course will always be a pile-up, well, not in this class, and you always have to be careful. Actually gaining a place there already, so that's one done and dusted. Yeah, when you're past the first few corners, that's the moment where you can attack, so that's what I did here. I just wanted to get to the front as quickly as possible, because in the warm-up lap from out of the pits I already noticed that this engine was a lot quicker than the previous one, so I could go full send here. As you can see, I'm already just moving up the field like crazy. Here you can see another free position because the other guy was overtaking him already. That's like one of the golden rules of karting. If you are close behind someone, well, not only in karting, it works in other sports as well. Here you can see I'm just a little bit too greedy and I go up the inside, but I don't really complete the move. And the two people I just overtook come back past me, so I have to start all over again. But what I was saying, the golden rule of karting, when there are two people going side by side and you're close behind them, always just drive behind the person that has the inside line. 9 out of 10 times that will mean a free position for you, and in the 10th time that will just mean that you won't lose anything. Like it never hurts to do that. But here, skipping ahead to lap 3 already, I go ahead and overtake someone else, which puts us up to P18 there. I tried to have a little look there for the P10, and I actually go up the inside, hit the inside curb, but I wasn't alongside him enough to actually take back the place. So P18 for now it is. Still a long race ahead of me. I knew I had the speed in this one to compete with the front guys. And here I actually send it up the inside, actually shove him out of the way a little bit. Not a completely clean move, but hey, it's karting, what are you going to do about it? The officials agreed with it, so it's good. Going into lap 4 now, I have to close a little bit of a gap to the guy ahead of me, which I quite easily did. Next lap, oh no, 2 laps out of this, lap 5. I'm right up his gearbox, well, rear bumper already, and I absolutely send it down the inside here. But for some reason he just turns in and taps my left rear wheel, which makes me go straight on and makes me lose, well, position to him again and to the guy that was behind me. So it's P18 all over again. For some reason he just probably didn't expect me there and just turned in, even though I was alongside him already, which basically made us both lose a position. Which is not very nice, but hey, it's karting, what are you going to do about it? Contact is inevitable in this sport. Here again we launch it up the inside at the same corner in lap 6, and he again turns into our rear wheel. So he either had a personal vendetta against me or he just wasn't very observant, but observing, excuse me. But this time we don't actually lose position and we actually gain hits, so no love lost there. Getting to lap 8 already, we actually lost quite a bit of time battling him. We go up the inside into my favorite corner, P16, done and dusted, no contact, job done. So this, at this moment I just wanted to get through the field as quickly as possible. I had no idea how many laps there were left. But yeah, it was just full attack mode from here on. I tried to go up the inside here, he leaves me the room, I actually go on the curb and just bluff him off, and that's P15 for us, done and dusted right there. Skipping ahead to lap 10, we're behind the number 18 now, which is the lady I talked about in the first race. Yeah, everyone is in a new kart, including me. She leaves a gap there and I go up the inside, no contact, job done, P14. So yeah, I was actually quite quick in this race. I was moving up the field like an absolute rocket once I wasn't getting taken out by people turning into my rear wheel. Again here, coming into this corner, up the inside, this guy turns in as well, but we shove him out of the way. I was fully alongside him and he just bounced off my kart. That's basically just a clean move in karting. Well, that was the end of the race. The guys ahead of me pulled away too much for me to catch up with them, so that's P13. Not really the result I wanted, but hey, you gotta be happy with what you can achieve in the race. If I wasn't too greedy on the first one and actually got past the number 3, that would have been a better race. But here we are on the grid for the next race. Let's see what we can do here. So, lottery decided that we were going to start from P8 here. The 5 red lights are already on, and away we go. As you can see there, getting a pretty decent start here as well. Coming out of the pits, I noticed that this kart had an okay engine as well, just like the last one, just average, not really extremely good or not really extremely bad. Well, we keep our position here, just P8. Gus is starting behind us. He was actually starting in P9. And for the first part of the race he just stick behind me making a move, so he actually used the golden rule of karting as well, just sticking behind me, letting me do all the dirty work. Well, which is smart. Of course you can't blame him, that's just the smartest thing to do. Well, at the front of course it's a bit harder to gain positions on the first lap. Everyone just defends, and well, the best thing you can do is just to maintain your position. As you can see there, the guys ahead of us are battling like crazy. I was looking here to maybe profit from it as well, but the number 8 there, oh, we actually do go up the inside there, and we have to bluff him off there, push him all the way to the left there, and that's P7, job done. Just squeeze him out onto the left hand side and he will just let us go. Here we are behind the second guy who turned in us in the first race, or in the second race, and we launch it up the inside here. He turns in again and we again shove him out of the way. So yeah, some people just are not very observant, which is okay. I actually had the same thing when I was just starting. As we get overtaken by Gus there, he probably was getting impatient and wanted to go to the front as well, which is something I completely understand. I have the same thing as well. So here I decided to just stick behind him and let him do the dirty work. But here, getting to lap 8 already, we were behind him for like 5 laps, and he didn't really overtake anyone, so I just decided to take matters into my own hands and just completely dive bomb in. There you can see I signaled to him, oh come on, let's get to the front, stick behind me. But actually he fell back quite a bit there, and he lost some positions. And here we use the golden rule of karting again, a free position for us there. Let someone else do the dirty work and let us do the overtaking. Here the guy on the right had an absolute shocker, and he for some reason went very wide there, and we could overtake him no problem. Over here I actually thought I could get these 2 guys, and which I actually got out of them briefly there, but they had the inside for the next corner, so they got back at me. The guy in the number 1 car there is actually a car driver, he's driving some sort of BMW Cup series, but we overtake him into my favorite corner, no problem. Yeah, this race was completely crazy. It's such an adrenaline rush to cut through the field like that. Races like this are the most fun races you can have, well, ever actually. Cutting into the penultimate lap here, we're behind P2 here, number 10, he's defending like crazy. He was actually one of the more experienced guys in this field, which made it very difficult to overtake him. So I knew that I actually had to pull off a very good trick on him in order to overtake him. So here he also goes a bit wide. I fake it to the outside for the next corner and then absolutely send it up the inside here, pulling off the textbook dummy here, which is not really that common in karting. Well, then it's just a case of pulling away, which I did. I had to defend a little bit in the beginning, but hey, we went from P8 to P2 in a single race. Job done. And actually, this result was actually enough points to get me P2 in group. I didn't really explain it, but there were 2 groups, Group 1 and Group 2. Group 2 was basically for the new guys in the series, which I was a part of. And I got P2 in that group. Gus is also in that group, even though he has been in the series for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years now. But yeah, solid result, P2. A nice trophy on the first race back in karting after more than a year and without practice. I think I can be happy with that. Yeah, and the Group 1 is just for the more experienced guys, but in terms of lap time, Group 1 and Group 2 are actually not that far apart from each other. So that was it for this video, guys. I really hoped you enjoyed it. There was some great racing in there. So if you did enjoy that, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me if you do that. Please also feel free to check out my Formula 1 content, which is on the channel. Well, it's basically everywhere on the channel. And if you would like to see more of this kind of content, well, just let me know in the comments down below. It's definitely coming. The next race is in 2 weeks. And well, and not many of you guys knew, I'm actually trying to get back into the Road Tech series, which is of course very expensive, and that's why I'm also looking for sponsors. So if anyone knows someone who's interested in maybe sponsoring me, please hit me up, leave a comment. I'm more than happy to talk with someone who is interested in sponsoring me. So guys, that was really it for this video, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.